Do you have all your Monday CRM boards set up, but you don't have all your data visualized yet? You're not sure where your leads are coming from. You don't know how much revenue you're getting each month. Well, today in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up all the dashboards to visualize all that data and more. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to go over is the actual sales dashboard that you get with Monday CRM. So you get a lot of these different widgets that show you like the forecasted value, won deals. They'll give you this nice like pipeline conversion here. But essentially all of these widgets that are kind of preloaded in the sales dashboard that you get out of the box are set up with the idea that you stuck with the original setup for the boards. And if you watched the video I did for how to like do a Monday CRM setup, it's not the same. So some of the data might not have gotten parsed into these widgets so that it would show you accurate data. So personally, what I like to do is you can either go in and change each one of these, go into the three dots here, click on settings, match up the columns, make sure they're accurately displaying the correct data. And you can just update this sales dashboard as is, or you could create your own separate dashboards or duplicate this one. For the purposes of this video, I was going to create two separate ones. So what I like to do is I like to create a opportunities dashboard and a leads dashboard. To create a dashboard, you're going to go down here to the plus sign, then click on dashboard, and we're going to call this one the lead dashboard. Hit create. And then we're going to choose the appropriate leads. So I unfortunately have too many leads boards in my Monday.com instance. So this one I have leads 2025. So we're going to go leads 2025. You realistically could add leads and opportunities or deals, whatever you call it. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to use leads board for the leads dashboard. All right. So at the top here, you have the add widgets, you have the connected boards, and then people and filter. So what do each one of these do? So for adding widgets, it's just kind of what you'd expect. It's what are the different widgets, pie charts, bar graphs, activity tracker, that sort of stuff. Connect boards is if you want to add more boards. And then filter, you could search here for different filtering. Can't really show you how to do that without actually having data in here yet. And then people, filtering by people, and then more filtering options here. So anyways, let's start with adding a widget for the number of leads that have been coming in per month. So you're going to click on add widget here, click on chart, and then we're going to click on the three dots, settings. So here we have just some data that Monday decided to select for us, and we're going to go line by line through each one of these. So the chart type, we're going to go with a bar chart, but you could do a pie chart if you want to see just the percentages of, which leads were coming in on what months. But for purposes of this like visualization, I think using a bar chart is probably a little bit better. I personally like to do one by one most of the time just to make sure I'm selecting all the right things. I would just be really specific on what it is I want to have selected, and everything that we're going to be using is at the parent item level. So we don't have to have anything selected for the sub item level for this. So we want to see what leads are coming in each month. So we set up our boards so that we have a lead creation date, and this is pretty pivotal in order to be able to do this type of visualization of your data. So you could just go in here, type in lead, and then lead created date. And then when that comes up, it should give you the option here to group by. So you can group by month, quarter, year. So we're going to choose month. And then on the y-axis, we're going to do count. So it's going to count each individual time it finds an item with that date in the date column. And then calculations would be sum, customize. Don't really need to do anything with these. You could show empty values if you wanted. Showing cumulative data, not really the most helpful, just because you really want to know like what leads came in, like what quantity came in per month. You can come in and you could edit some of the colors if you wanted to, just to make it just a little bit easier to visualize. So you could maybe do them by quarter. Doing one for each month might be a little hectic, right? Because the colors of the rainbow are just going to show up here. So you could say, the first quarter could all be green for 1 month and 1 year. So right now I kind of have them all over the place. Unfortunately, I had June 2023, December 2023. So I could put 2023 in green, and then maybe it looks like 2024 in another color. So we'll keep that blue, and then 2025 we could make that, let's say, this red color, and then we could do 2026 as, let's see, it is darker blue. So at least we know the years now. So 2023, 24, 25, and 26. So I can now see the leads that all came in June and December of 23 and December 24, and so on. And then you could set like a benchmark number if you wanted to. So if you had, say, a goal of having at least 10 leads per month come in, or 20 leads per month, you could just type in the number there and it'll show up. Let's go 10 just so it doesn't look as, you could see goal lead counts, and you can change the color of that. So let's say like purple, and then you could add more benchmark lines if you wanted to. And then the boards, you can select which board. We only have one board connected to this dashboard, so there's not any other ones you could select here. And then groups, you could omit some of the groups if you wanted to. So hypothetically speaking, if you didn't want to have unqualified leads in here or qualified leads in here, so you could say, I just want to see all unqualified leads that have come in each month. You could unclick the qualified leads group. And then, vice versa, you could just have the qualified leads group. So if you just wanted to see all qualified leads that came in each month, this would be the way to sort it. And then you can choose which columns you want to show. Not really super relevant for this chart here, but another option there for you. So let's rename this to, let's see, number of leads per month. All right. So this is pretty much like the first thing I would get started on making sure you had like a count for the number of leads you have coming in. And then the next one would be lead attribution. So for lead attribution, we could do another bar chart if we wanted to, but let's just see what it would look like if it was a pie chart. So add a widget, click chart, click the 3 dots, settings, chart type, and we'll choose pie chart this time. And then we'll go to labels and 1 by 1. And then we're going to do the lead source. So now we can see for all of our leads that came in, Google search 38%, Facebook 23%, LinkedIn 15%, AI 15%. So it gives you an idea of like what percentage of the leads, like their attributions are. And then it'll just go with count all at once. That's totally fine for this. Customize, you could have a value. So it's a number of leads instead of percentage, but we'll keep it percentage for now. Then you can show empty values as well. So this is actually probably super helpful just because, you could be working with your team and you're seeing these nice attributions, and then all of a sudden there's this big, elephant in the room, and you're like, okay, how are half of our leads not having some type of source or attribution? So this is a good way to kind of tease that out and then work with your team to then say like, okay, if half of our leads don't have our attribution, maybe each one of the people that are assigned the lead can actually figure out where they came from. And then if you click here, it'll show you which one of those don't have it. So you could actually work out of here to then start doing a lead attribution and just scroll over to the lead source and start updating them from here. So that's a nice way to do that. But anyways, on the right side here, again, you have the boards. We don't want to change that. Groups. Again, you could say, I just want to see qualified leads or unqualified leads and where the lead sources are for those. And then same here, this isn't super helpful. Something though that might be helpful for your business though is you could have this pie chart for all the absolutes. Like right now, it's capturing all of your lead data. So if you wanted to have just a specific time, so like for instance, you just want to know monthly. So you'll have to use the filters here to do that. So the top part of this filter, you have all boards, and seeing as we only have one board connected, it's just going to be the leads board anyway, so we don't need to change that. And then it says where, and then you're going to have to choose the column to set the date range. So we're using the lead creation date column. Let's see here. Lead creation date is, and then this month. So if we want to see, and then you could also do some other filters on top of it. So we could say lead created date is this month, and we'll go with status is qualified. So now you can see all of the leads that were created this month and were also qualified where they came from. So they all came from Google search. Let's just go back and then keep it as lead created date is this month. And then you have to click save. It's very easy to forget that. Click save here. And then if you go up here, you can name this, let's see, it was number of leads. What was it? Leads created this month. Yeah, it was lead source by, or sorry, number of leads by lead source this month. Yeah, there we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to want to set up is just some standard numbers, just so you have like a monthly ongoing number. And right now you see this, right? But if you just wanted some big number to pop out at you, you could click the numbers widget here, and then you could just click the three dots, settings, and then count. So we'll go with counts, items. So these are all the leads and leads board. So what we're going to need to do is same filter we had on the last one. So we'll say number of leads this month, and then filter, and then we'll do the lead created date again, is this month, save filter. So this is the number of leads that came in this month. And we could keep doing that for this year, or so if you wanted to do that, you could click the three dots here, just duplicate it, and then click the three dots again, settings, go back up to the filter, and then just change this to this year. Was there this year one? This month, last month, next month, past due dates, last week. Yeah, that's the funky one. So in Monday, they don't have a this year one. So you have to say like is on or after or between, I believe it was, is between. And then you just pick the beginning of this year and then the end of this year. So you could have all the leads that came in this year and then save. So number of leads this year, number of leads in, we'll go 2026. So another good metric is attributing like the amount of revenue you're getting from your leads. And this one will actually require you to have a connection with your opportunities board. If you don't have your, say, like lead values and your deal values already in the leads board. So if we want to go ahead and connect the opportunities here, so with opportunity, sorry, I've been calling them deals. Some people use deal, some use opportunity. So got deals 2025 here, click done. And it's automatically going to add it most likely to most of these. So it's going to throw your numbers off. So you're going to have to go back into each one of these and then check off the deals board so that it doesn't mess up the data that we had before. So you just go 3 dots, settings, boards, and then uncheck the deals board for each one of these. So boards, deals board, same thing here, settings, boards, deals board. Okay, gotcha. In order to kind of avoid that issue though, you could click on, when you go to connect them, say we wanted to connect this contacts one, there's this add newly selected boards to all existing widgets, just uncheck that. So I was just moving too quick. All right, so we want to see where all of our revenue is coming from our lead sources. So in order to do this, you would have had to set up your board similar to how I did it in the video for doing a complete CRM setup for the boards. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you click on add widgets, click on chart here, and then click on the 3 dots, settings, and then on the x-axis, you'll do one by one, and we're going to just do the deals and then lead source. So the lead source will have carried over from the original lead source board and been connected to the lead in the original setup that we did when we were making the CRM boards. So this won't work out of the box with just a regular Monday CRM setting. So either go back to the video that I made or feel free to reach out and I can help you set this up. So you're going to have lead source on the x-axis. On the y-axis, you're going to choose one by one again, and then you're going to choose deal value. So now this is going to give you the deal value. Oh yeah, uncheck count. This is going to give you the deal value by the actual lead source. So you can see AI search has brought in $44,000, almost $45,000 in revenue. Google search has brought in 8,000, almost 9,000, and TikTok has brought in almost 800. Well, if you go to customize here, you can show empty values. There's probably going to be a lot. So this is, again, similar to the lead attribution discussion I was saying before. So you have all these nice attributions here, and then you're going to have this big SORI, and then you're going to go to your team and be like, where are these coming from? And then you can click on it again, and then you can go through and attribute where it came from. You could choose some benchmarks, set what boards, groups, same idea as before, right? So if you just didn't want to include lost deals, for instance, and then that would be more accurate to like all close one revenue. So you could go through here and then uncheck anything that isn't closed one. So right now we only have non-attributed lead source data for our closed one deals. And then you could also have filtered it to do that. So you could say where you have to choose the deals board, and then you could say stage is, and then one, save filter. So this is leads, like all closed one revenue by lead source. So right now we don't know where the majority of our closed one, $1 million of our closed one deals, what lead source they came from. Was it Google search? Was it AI? And so on. So that's pretty much like a good foundational start. I'd say this is maybe getting you 25, 30% of the way there for a dashboard. There's probably another, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably another like 6 or so widgets that you want to put in here to like give you a better idea of like, you know, what's the highest, you know, what's like a 90-day or like a quarterly view and things like that. So anyways, let's get started on making out the opportunities dashboard. So we'll start out by creating a dashboard. So click the plus sign and click on dashboard. And we'll call this opportunities dashboard, and click create. And then we're going to choose just the the deals board. So I know I interchangeably use the word opportunities and deals. I've just found a lot of different teams do that. So you can call it the deals board, opportunities board, whatever works best for your team. But I guess to make this less confusing, I'll just call this the deals dashboard. So one of the things I like to make on the deals dashboard is some nice gauge widgets. So this is going to give you an idea of how your sales are doing for the year. So if you add the gauge widget, click on settings, and then we'll go with actual value, 1 by 1 here, and deal value. And then we're going to call this 2026 closed won revenue. And you can see here, that's name and then your target. So your target value. So we've closed won 2.5 mil this year so far. And that would be fantastic if that was the first quarter of any of my years. But so 2.5 mil for the first couple months, right? So we'll probably want to, shoot for, let's say, I don't know, 20 or something like that, 20 mil. And now you can see that the gauge changed on that. Then you can choose whatever colors you want. You can see you go red, go green, change the needle color to, I like to keep it just black. You could do gradient or solid. And then you could add the labels on there and add the labels. And then you can add dollar signs to it or euros, whatever your currency is, your boards and groups as before. So right now we want to count everything that's just enclosed one. So again, you can have that filtered either by the groups here, or you could go up to the filters and then choose stage, color is close one. And then you could add another filter because we just want 2026. So we'll have let's see, we should have a closed, let's type in 1. We should have a closed 1/lost date column. So this again is not going to be something that's out of the box with Monday. It's part of the setup that I do, and more than happy to help you with that. But basically, whenever you close one a deal, it then captures that date, so you know if you close one or when you close one or lost it. And we'll say close one deal is between the beginning of this year and the end of this year. So now we will have the full picture of closed won revenue this year. Yeah, everything that's closed won this year. And looks like nothing's closed won at the moment this year, but that's what it would be. So closed won revenue in 2026. I quickly added some data so that at least it showed up, right? So we have some closed won revenue now this year. All right, so what do we want to see next? Maybe average deals, number of deals. Let's go with the number widgets. And we could see, go to settings, go 1 by 1. We'll choose deal value, and we'll go to customize, and we'll choose dollar sign here. We'll go average. So, and then boards, keep it just deals. And we'll go with out lost. So now you can see all the deals that you've either closed won or are still in your pipeline, what the average deal size is. And then if you just want it all closed won, average deal size, that's what it would be right there. That stuff's not relevant. So we'll do average deal size for closed won deals. Sorry, that's probably a bit wordy, but so now you know what your average deal size is. And then we could do, let's say like all active opportunities pipeline. Like what do you have in the pipeline right now? So this is all of your closed won revenue. So let's do another gauge for that. Put it below here. And let's go to settings here. We'll choose the bar this time. And then actual value 1 by 1, deal value, and target value, I don't know, just put in a big number, or 0 here. And then we'll do the, one more 0 after that. Colors, keep those the same. Labels, keep that the same. Settings, boards, and groups. So this one's kind of up to you and how your sales stages are set up. So if you want to know what's currently in your pipeline, like how much revenue you have in your pipeline, probably just going to be anything that's not closed won or lost, right? So if you get rid of closed won and lost, you have all these other stages left. Some of you may have like a stage where it's like stuck and you don't really want to include it in your current pipeline. Make sure you unselect that as well. But right now, this is everything that's in your pipeline, that you have not closed won or is lost. So this is let's just call this all active deals. So like right now, your target is 20 million and you only have 1.3 million in the pipeline right now. And you've only closed roughly 400K. So a lot of work to be done. And this 5 million in active pipeline should probably be a lot higher, right? It should probably be like 3 or 4 times whatever your 20 million is here. And realistically, you'd want to have like probably all active deals and then another one that's for like if you're forecasting too, you might want some kind of forecasting one. Okay, so let's see, we could have total revenue. What else do we want to do? We could have the amount of revenue closed per month. So if you go to add widgets here, we'll do another chart and click on the 3 dots, settings, and then x-axis 1 by 1. And then we're going to do that deal close 1 date 1. So we'll go to stage, or no, we want to go by, we want to know revenue closed by month. And we have the close 1 date right here. And then nothing for sub items, grouping by month. Y-axis is going to be we'll do 1 by 1 again, and we'll do deal value. And then we're going to make sure we unselect account items, customize. Showing empty is not going to probably look good, so let's just not do that. And then benchmarks, we could do one. We could say like we want to hit, I don't know, like 500,000 each month. And boards don't need to do anything. Here, it should be already implicit in the way we have it set up, but we can unselect these groups and nothing to do there. So this is close 1 revenue by month. So if we click out of this, you can now see the widget. So in January 2026, we closed roughly 200,000, and then February 2026, pretty close to 200,000, and that adds up to this 397K here. So another metric might be tracking some of the activities for your sales team, and Monday actually has a specific widget for that. So if you click on add widgets here, activity tracker. Now the activity tracker, I'll say is a bit limited now. So there's more than one way you could do this, but this pretty much gets the job done more or less. So if you click the 3 dots and settings, you just have a couple of different ways to visualize it. So you have the vertical bar charts like we've been using, or the horizontal ones. And then you can make it stacked if you wanted to, or just how we had it before, was just one color. So if you choose activity creator for one axis and stack by the type, and then you could have the number of item limit on there. But I don't have anybody assigned on anything right now. So let me go do that real quick. I could do a bunch of assignments here, and then I don't have activities on anything either, so I have to show you what that looks like. So basically on every lead, deal, or contact and account, each one of these activities, like sending an email or adding an activity here, like a note, counts as an activity. So I'll just click test here, maybe add another note, test here, and then let's make another one, say for this one here. We'll add an activity. We'll call log meeting test. Then we'll add another one here. Log a meeting test. All right, so now if we go back to our deals dashboard, you can now see the activity. So I just logged in as one person, but it should show all of your different reps here. and the activities they've done. So right now I'm just logged meeting and note activities, but all the emails will get tracked here as well, and in a stacked fashion. Then you can see last 7 days, last 30 days. If you had multiple boards attached here, you'd be able to go like between the leads and the deals board, and then you could do like a custom range if you wanted to. And then you could also, like every other board, you could do some filters. The filtering's a little bit more limited here, right? But either way, it still gives you a good way of tracking the activity for your salespeople. So, anyways, that's pretty much like, again, probably only like 20-30% base of like what a opportunities or deals board should have. You should probably have another, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would imagine maybe up to like 10 other widgets, depending on what other metrics you're trying to do, like conversion rates or finding, revenue by quarter and things like that. So, but if you're interested in learning some more or want some help with your setup that's maybe a little bit more complicated, feel free to reach out. All of my information is in the description below, and thanks for watching.